Good morning, YouTube. AJ Simmons here. Thank y'all for waking up with me this morning. I'm live for this one this morning. Didn't have time to put the podcast up, so I decided to give y'all live this morning. So I let everybody filter in so we get some questions in. But what I do want to talk about is understand the difference between a business and a side hustle, okay? Because they're different things, number one, and number two, they yield different results, okay? And they require different efforts, all right? Because a lot of people, and I'll use the cleaning franchise because that's what I talk about a lot, and a lot of people think that they're going to buy into a cleaning franchise and treat it as a side hustle and work ethic, but get the results of a business, okay? And it's just not going to happen, all right? It's like you got to know what you're doing, what you want, and what to expect, all right? Like, when you building a business, it takes so much hard work and effort, so much time and long-term planning, and so much sacrificing of making money now versus getting the benefits later. With a side hustle, you might go, let's just say, for example, with the cleaning franchise, you might go out and clean 10 buildings a week, you know what I mean? Take home whatever you take home from it and don't hire, maybe you hire 1 or 2 people, but you just keep it pretty much yourself doing most of the work. And that you could treat it like a side hustle that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But understand that just because your business card says franchise owner, understand that you're not really anybody's boss and you're not really going to feel like you're getting owner pay, so to speak. Like your income might not match your title. Then if you treat it like a business and you got those same 10 accounts, but you got employees working them all, then you're really not going to have the income to match that title, okay? Because what you got to understand is, let's just say you're doing $7,000 a month, right? That sounds pretty good, right? On the surface, it sounds good. But when you really look at it in a business, it's $7,000. Like if I told you Walmart was making $7,000 a month at your local Walmart, you probably say that's a little bit of money, right? Like that's not a lot for a business. That's a lot for a person, but that's not a lot for a business. So if you got a side hustle and you're making $7,000 a month, that's excellent. You got a lot of extra money to play with. After you take out taxes, after you take a little bit of supplies, stuff like that, that's great. But when you talking about for a business, $7,000 a month ain't shit. Straight up, like it's nothing. Okay, because you got so many things to pay. You got to pay the taxes. You got to pay for the supplies. You got to pay for advertising. You got to pay for for your employee overhead. You know what I mean? Like you got to pay that. Like, and that's the biggest fee, especially in the cleaning industry. In almost any service industry, your biggest overhead is always the cost of paying your employees. All right, and so what you got to understand is you got to grow that thing exponentially, so big. Like you got to just grow it, and to the point where you finally can draw a real decent salary from it, or to the point where you finally can pay yourself a decent amount of dividends from your business. But early on, if you keep trying to pull the profits out to pay yourself and get rich quick, it's quicker, because like I said, you can get rich quick with a business. That's the whole goal, is to get rich quick. That's why I want to do it personally. It's for the freedom, not necessarily for the money, but for the freedom. But you need the money to be free. All right, but because when I say quick, I'm talking about 10 years, 5 years to 10 years. That's quick. That's still quick. Like even if you lock in, build a business over the 5 to 10 years, that still beats the 40 and the 50 years that the jobs want you to do, right? Okay, so that's what I mean when I say get rich quick. But see, a lot of people think get rich quick mean 1 or 2 years max. Like some people can't even hold out for the 1 year. They think, well, I put my money in last month and it's 6 months now where I ain't got my money back. You know what I mean? And you got to change your thinking. You really that's why you got to immerse yourself in this stuff. And this business stuff, you really just got to dip yourself every single day. Study, listen to audiobooks, listen to YouTube videos, wake up with me, listen to anybody. You know what I mean? There's so many of these people out here now. I mean, just pick something that align. Don't pick too many, but pick about 3 or 4 people that really align with what you believe in and what your vision is, because so many different ways to skin a cat, so many different ways to go about getting rich. So you need to pick the people who believe the way that you believe. Lock in on just them, and then go for it. Like and listen to that stuff all the time. Listen, like read books, okay? Because you have to continuously train your mind to overcome the stuff that we were taught from the beginning, because we were taught so different. You know what I mean? Like we were taught to be entrepreneurs. we were conditioned not to have the patience and think that stuff is supposed to happen overnight. Like Hollywood even teaches that. I remember Kevin Hart was talking about it on one of his interviews, like when he was getting interviewed by Oprah, he was saying how Hollywood got this way of making us think that people just become successful overnight, and they neglect to. I mean, it's not really neglect, but it's just like you don't get to see the person's trials and tribulations going all the way up through that period. He said his was over 18 years of grinding. You know what I mean? It's just like with me, that's why a lot of people might watch me and say he ain't making enough progress for me. I'm leaving. He ain't done shit yet. But what people don't understand is I'm documenting mine, so you can see my struggle throughout. And I'm in the up, the down, the high, the low, whatever. And so the people weren't doing that before. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Hart wasn't documenting that, so Hollywood weren't able to show all of the fucked up times. You know what I mean? All the time when you get kicked out of your apartment, or when your car get repoed, or when your mortgage get foreclosed on, anything. You know what I mean? Like people got to go through this stuff when you're building a business. I'm talking about. Now, if it's a side hustle, then you expect your income to go up because you kept your day job. You kept, I mean, you just trying to increase your income and do it that way. And so you got to really decide which one is it going to be. Are you trying to build a business or a side hustle? Because if you're trying to build a business, then stop eating up all the profits and put it back into the business, okay? And so it's hard to build a business when the business is your only source of income. So in the beginning, it's really recommended that you either keep your day job or have some other source of income so that you can build that business, because it takes a while to build a business. You're going to have to reinvest the profits, okay? And the profits in the cleaning, especially in the cleaning franchise, just aren't as large enough to really pay you a decent amount and allow you to keep some to reinvest. All right, so that's my morning video for today. Let me get some questions. Y'all can drop them below. What's up, So Steezy? He says, shout out to him, by the way. He's in the mastermind group. But he says, what's up, AJ? I'm maxed out with Jam Pro contracts and I need to hire, but I've been holding off because I feel like I need the money. I need more money just in case. Should I grind and save or just take the chance? If this is your only source of income and you want to build a business out of it, I recommend that you just grind and save. Grind and save first. First, understand how much it costs to pay the employee. Like, don't just stop growing for a minute. Stabilize. All right, if you can. I don't know what if the income that you get from the franchise right now is enough to pay the bills. If this is your only source of income. So if it is your only source of income and it is enough to pay your bills right now, don't take any more accounts from them unless they're gonna give you either a very reduced sales and marketing fee or no sales and marketing fee, or unless you go find it on your own so you don't have to pay a sales and marketing fee. But keep it steady the way it is right now and save and grind and stack it. And you trying to stack to the point where you got enough in the bank where you can afford to pay people. Well, you want to have enough in the bank for your franchise salary is what I'm trying to say, all right? And they usually say you want to have at least 3 times the amount that you pay out per month in salary. Okay, so if you got to pay out $4,000 a month in salary, then you really want to have 12 in there. All right, but anyway, stack it up, stack it, because what's going to happen too is once you hire them, now your income goes down. So you need to also make sure that when you do get ready to hire, that you can afford to grow, because you're going to need to grow in order to get your income back up. Okay, so maybe you put, if your salary is going to be $4,000 to cover those accounts, then maybe you keep out $8,000 in the bank, and then use the other $4,000 to reinvest and get more business. Okay, so that's just some way to look at it. But I will stack it first, at least until you got a nice little lump sum of cash in the bank. Okay, and try not and don't touch it. And like obviously you can take a few smaller accounts just to make sure that you can get your income higher. But I won't push it too far, because like I said, especially with the franchise, if they find an account for you, now you added more debt to the business, and it's going to set you back even further. You got to let it stabilize. All right. So, who else we got? Any other questions this morning before I get out of here? But yeah, man, because a lot of people, like, they get frustrated with this opportunity because they don't understand business, and it took me a long time to understand business. I got to the point where I was starting to question if this opportunity was even for me anymore. All right, the franchise I'm talking about, or the cleaning business in general. I was starting to wonder if it was for me anymore until I understood how things work. Like, you really got to study business and understand it. Like, And that's just what it come down to, man. So, and I put that in my ebook too. Is it a scam? The truth about commercial cleaning franchise. I got I think that's in chapter 1 actually, where I separate the difference between um, being self-employed versus being an actual business owner. Okay, so you gotta have the patience for that business owner stuff, and really understand that you're not gonna make any money damn near for at least the first 1 to 5 years. Okay, because you gotta keep reinvesting. Shit gonna take long. You gotta pay off debt, all of that before you can finally start drawing some real money from the business. All right, so hopefully y'all were able to enjoy this video. Thank y'all for waking up with me this morning. I am AJ Simmons. And by the way, the audio book is almost finished of the ebook version. I made an audio version of it, so I'm just doing some final editing on it, and I'm gonna put that out. So, all right, so y'all look forward to that. But anyway, thank y'all. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.